Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to this week's Natural Hair Weekly podcast with your very own Natural Hair Weekly team. Today's Sunday, the 25th of June, 2017, and we've got another great podcast in store for you. We're going to start off with some overviews from last week's newspaper, some highlighted articles that we liked within the team, and then we'll be leading into an exclusive interview with the wonderful and award-winning Charlotte Mensah. And then on the outro, we'll tell you what's in store that you could be looking out for next week. So definitely keep it locked. Let me introduce to you the team, myself, Jadusha, and the wonderful Zena and Candice. Hi, ladies.
Hey, Jadusha.
Hello, Jadusha.
How you doing?
I'm good. Hello, everybody out there that's listening to our podcast.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Okay, so I wanted to get a brief overview from starting with you, Candice. What was one of your favorite articles from last week?
Well, I'm going to jump right into it. My favorite article from last week is the Yara Shahidi is heading to Harvard. She chose Harvard University. I think she applied to like 13 of them, but she chose Harvard University and she's set to attend there in 2018, along with Malia Obama. It's my favorite article as a young actress in Hollywood, seeing Yara shine as her role Zoe on the hit TV sitcom Blackish as a very positive influence on young girls naturally. And to see that she's positive in her role on TV and also positive in real life, like going to university and Ivy League university at that was my favorite. I think it's inspiring for young girls that are watching her show on TV.
Awesome. I totally agree with you.
Me too. Love Yara.
Yeah, she's dope. My favorite was Meet the Rising Star who's blowing up the red carpet hair in the red carpet hair game, and it's about Vernon Francois. Absolutely love him. He just seems like so much fun, but he's blowing up all over the place. He does Lupita, he does Solange, Kerry Washington, Tracy Ellis Ross, Ruth Negga, and Vogue highlighted him great, as well as Danae Benton, who is a rising star in Hollywood, who's in a theatre production called Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. So I thought that was really interesting, highlighting a new talent, natural hair talent, and also highlighting another superstar stylist, Vernon Francois. Zena?
Hopefully we can get him on the show too. I love his work.
Yes, let's put some psychic vibrations out there for Vernon.
Yeah.
What was your favourite, sis?
So my story this week is a little bit more somber, but I really wanted to give Khadijah Say a mention. There was an awesome article in Fault magazine that we created, which showcased her life and her work and the message that she wanted to get out through her work. The tape written on going to be showing her work. And also there has been a fund that's been set up in her honour by her mentor Nicola Green, and it's to help young artists like Khadijah to realise their potential. So it was set up with artist Dave Lewis and the director of Peer, Ingrid Swenson, and they're hoping to raise £50,000 by Just Giving, which will be used for study, informal training, internships or mentoring for a young person whose background and circumstances might not necessarily grant them access to such support. So from a tragedy which was horrific and is affecting many people in London, something positive has come from that, in an opportunity to honour Khadijah, who's created such awesome work in her short time on this earth.
Beautiful. A wonderful interview for you now, guys, with Charlotte Mensah, who is a UK-born Ghanaian. She's an award-winning hairstylist, owner and artistic director of the Hair Lounge Salon, which is based on Portobello Road in London. She's also the founder of Mensah Academy, also known as Love, and she's also the founder of the Manketti Oil hair care brand. She is well known for inspiring not only stylists but business owners and women worldwide. She's a hard-working woman with an unwavering self-belief and a genuine down-to-earth attitude. So keep it locked and enjoy.
I was never really into hair. I wouldn't say I was like this child that knew that she wanted to be a hairdresser. No, I didn't know that. I was more into I was very good at school in Ghana. I was always the first in my class. I was really good at maths. So I was good with business, I think, from the early age without me even realizing, because I grew up with my grandmother who, she had 8 children, and all her 8 children had 8 children each. So we grew up in this house, which was maybe 47 of us. There was loads of us. Yeah, awesome. There was a lot of us. And my grandmother was this amazing woman who had so many skills. She could cook. She could do hair, she could sew, she could paint the house, and she baked the most lovely cakes and bread. And she would literally, because in Ghana we sell things on you carry it on your head to around the area. So she would bake the hot bread, and then she would set me and my cousins and my sisters to go around the area. And whoever sewed the most bread, we used to get tips. So we would be like, I'm going that route, you're going that route, I'm going to sell mine quicker than yours. So I think I always had business in my head from a child. So then when I came to the UK at the age of 11, life was completely different. It wasn't so everybody stayed in. No, there wasn't that community feeling. You couldn't go out. I came around November, it was very cold. I'm not used to that type of weather. I'm used to being outside. And then the most unfortunate thing happened when our mum passed away at the age of 13. So at that time, my younger sister was 3, and it's just natural. You start doing her hair, and we used to have chats about how she was getting on at school and nursery, and we both used to say how much we miss mum. But it would be a bit of a bit of a bonding sort of sharing time as well, because I'm doing her hair, she's telling me stuff, and also I'm kind of, by me just helping her and making her hair look nice, I'm relieving stuff as well. So it was a really nice.
And filling that maternal void for your sister as well, because she was so young.
She was. And I always loved fashion. I love anything that looked beautiful. When I used to see my older aunties and my grandmother, especially growing up in Ghana, they dress amazingly, any occasion, even if it's just to go and visit another family member. Everybody always put on this amazing attire. It wasn't about size. You could be very slim or very big, but everybody always looked confident. It was always beautiful. So I always liked fashion, and I think at that time we had magazines like Jet and Roots and Essence, and it was mainly American magazines. So you go through the magazines and think, I think I could do this. This woman looks nice. I like how her hair looks. Maybe I'll try on my sister next week. And because she was only 3, she would say, oh my God, it's so nice. I used to think I was so good because she would appreciate it. Oh. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm very good then. So because of the
self-belief kicked in.
Yeah, the self-belief kicked in.
And I also read that you used to go to board meetings with your granddad because he worked for a brewery.
Oh my God, you really checked me out.
And you said that kind of subliminally prepared you for that.
Yeah, because my grandfather was this great man who was the head of a big brewery called Tata Brewery, which was as big as the Guinness company. Yeah? And he was literally, we all relied on this one man. My grandmother, like I said, she didn't really, even though she had all those skills, she didn't take any of it professionally. She didn't even think, oh, this bread making is so good, let me make it into a big proper bread factory or pantry. She never did any of that. So my grandfather was the one that looked after all of us. And he would always have the big Mercedes car, or be driven to school. But it wasn't it was in a quite a humble way. It wasn't I don't know how to put it.
It seemed like normal.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh my God, we're this rich family in the area. It was just, he did really well. And I think because I came from London, there's this thing about the child being born abroad. Everybody held you as some sort of celebrity. So I was this child that would be like, oh, is that the London baby? She came in a Moses basket. I mean, people would see me in the road. Are you the child that came in a basket? And I'd be like, what? So it was a bit of a talk in the area.
Wow.
Yeah, so then he would always, I was like his pet. If you mess with me, my granddad will kill you, because I was everything for him. Because I came as a tiny little baby at 3 months, and I think he just took me in. And that time it was this, he would have been in his 50s. Things were really happening for him. And I was this really chubby baby that was like, everybody just wanted to know.
With
like
bright eyes.
Yeah, and it was like always open, always like ready, always had this big smile. Like, so he literally took me everywhere. So I was like his briefcase, really. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I remember going to some of these meetings, and I remember them calling figures. I remember seeing loads of dollars, but I just didn't
have a comprehension.
Yeah, I didn't really. But I always knew that, oh my God, you know, there's a way you do things. He's this director of the brewery. People respected him. Mm-hmm. You know, he's done really well for himself, and he came from a humble beginning as well, and he's done well for himself. But you still don't really register it all until later in life. Now I look back and I think, yeah, that was where it all started from.
Okay, let's jump forward. So when you returned to the UK, you studied, was it fashion?
No, what happened was, again, with all of the sadness from the death of my mum and everything, as bright as I was, my head was all over the place, like in terms of, you're so traumatized. I mean, I could barely sort of even make out my exams. So I did well, but not well enough. And I remember the careers officers coming around the age of 15, 16, and they sort of said, like, what is it that you like to do? And because I'd already done all of the stuff that I do with my sisters, it was naturally for me to warm towards hairdressing. And then I got into a salon called Splinters, which was like which was an amazing opportunity because that was the first black salon in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah. And also the fact that it was really difficult to get into salons like that. But as soon as he saw me and I did my interview, he just said, you know what, I want you to start next week. But at that time, there was a training scheme going on called the YTS, Youth Training Scheme, which Margaret Thatcher had introduced. It was like a apprenticeship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did 4 days in the salon, then I went to London College of Fashion 1 day a week. And that was in the days of Alexandra McQueen, Stella McCartney.
Oh my God.
But I saw all these people, but you just think, oh, they're just...
you didn't know.
And then later on, because they're all kind of like my age group, and later on they had these phenomenal names. So to be fair, we had a good start. Yeah. A good start. I mean, there were other people also in hairdressing, but they didn't really take it any further. But I always knew that there was... Because when I saw people like Diana Ross coming in and I used to think, wow, this is a great industry to be in. Not only did I feel like I was in a family, because obviously my family would punish us for coming late, it would make you stand outside, all sorts of things. So it was like a father figure, as well as mentor, as well as boss, as well as...
It's amazing how the universe kind of fills those voids through other people, like earth angels.
Yeah,
you know?
he was amazing. He was such a great...
mentor,
everything.
guider.
Yeah, he was, and he just made sure, like sometimes he'll come in and you could see you're really sad, and he would just call you in the office and say, well, what's up with you today? And you know, it's always caring about your welfare. And you know, sometimes you come in and say, oh, I don't have money for lunch, and he'll say, okay, take this, go. And it was just a great place to be. I mean, and I kind of needed that, because at 16 you're so confused as well, because one, you didn't do well in your exams, you've got all C's, and you know, you didn't even want to share it with anyone, because some people are laughing and jubilating about A's and A stars, and there you are with a C. So you're like, you're a little bit ashamed, and you think, oh God, my mother would have wanted me to do well. So for me, when I got into the hairdressing, I always said, I'm going to really make a difference. I want to make a difference. I want to be that woman or that girl that's going to change things. And I just... Yeah, it became...
And you have.
Oh. And so, yeah, it was so close to my heart as well, because like I said, the people I met, and then all of the other stylists that were so inspiring, and they were all like big sisters to me. There were so many people that were really, really lovely to me. Oh. And that made a difference. And also that made me stay in the industry, because I felt like that's where I belong and that's where I needed to be.
And do you keep those do you pay it forward? Do you do a lot of the things?
Yeah, I do loads of stuff. Like I've done loads of mentoring. Like I feel like everyone that comes through this door, I mean, literally I meet girls that have, came to me, like the other day at the fire. There was one of my ex-members, and she goes, Charlotte, I miss you, I want to come and see you. They're all like my daughters. When I see them, I'll be like, well, why aren't you doing this? Why did you stop? So for me, it's like it was kind of fed through the seeds that Winston implanted in us.
I feel it's very, very important the type of energy the person has when they put their hands in your head.
Definitely, because I believe that it's one of those, it's the type of job that the first time you meet the person, the first 10 seconds of meeting someone, you're touching them. So it's a very kind of spiritual connections as well. And if you're not at ease with yourself, it's difficult to understand what the person wants and for you to produce good work in the end. So it's very important that you yourself are quite balanced. So I always say to like most of my girls that come in, they're like, I want everything, I want it now. And I'm like, you know what, you need to fix yourself first. Once you're fixed, everything else around you will be fixed. But until that, it's not going to happen. So it starts from inside you. You know, if your home's happy, your work will be happy. And naturally, you generate that heat. But if you haven't got that, then it's going to be a struggle. You're going to try about 10 different things. And you think, oh, why me? It's not working for me. And you just go around in circles. So it's all about balance as well. You need to be at ease with yourself in everything you do.
In terms of like upcoming stylists and just women, people in general, what kind of mantra would you recommend that you could suggest in terms of dealing with very bustling industries, very busy lifestyle, very stressful as well?
Yeah.
What are some of your coping mechanisms?
For me, I think you need to be not so hard on yourself, because life is it's a journey. It's not all going to happen in a day. And if someone's 24 and they made it, doesn't mean that you're behind because you're 24 and you haven't made it. Everyone's time's different. Opportunity comes to everyone at different times. And you just need to be patient and also humble yourself, to open yourself to learn. If something goes wrong, use it as an experience, use it as a learning curve. Don't just say, oh, it's gone wrong. But sit down, analyze, why did it go wrong? Maybe I need to learn this lesson. That's why it went wrong. It might take you 6 months to learn the lesson. It might take you a year. But make sure you learn the lesson, because most people don't, and they start blaming people. And like I said again, we need to work on ourselves first. It's all about ourselves. If you're 100% with yourself, everything else falls into place. And I have done that with myself. So I know how far I've come, even with my kids and people around me in my support system. If it wasn't for us all working on ourselves, we wouldn't be here where we are today. So, and also I truly believe in prayer. Like anything, I'm just there like, God, I have no way. You know the way. I don't have anyone. It's not like I've got like rich family or I've got agencies or big wealth behind me or something. It's all me, myself and I. So, well, where do I go? Well, who do I turn to? And for some reason, when you really open up and reflect, it all comes. It takes time. Like you said earlier, it took me 6 years to do the Manchetti. Why? Because it's all self-funded. It's all from my own. I work a little bit. I don't have the money. I wait. Some people can't wait. They'll be like, I want it now. And it doesn't happen now. Anything that happens that quickly
doesn't last.
It doesn't last. Yeah. And also, through the work in it taking so long, you learn so much. I've gained so much from just waiting. It would just literally, everyone's been like, when are you going to get in the shop? When are you going to? We've only just been speaking to people now. Most people wouldn't even give it 6 months. They'll be like, oh, it's not working, I'm giving up. Yeah. And for me, it's like, never give up. Just keep going.
I really do love your positive and enthusiastic and challenging yourself as well, and not being frightened to challenge yourself. And I thought it was supreme that you didn't take any loans or anything, that you worked so hard.
I worked so hard.
As well as being a mother, as well as having staff, as well as having your children, your family, as well as working on the Manchetti, all at the same time. Hi, Superwoman, how you doing?
It doesn't even seem real to me.
But you're right, in terms of when you're prepared to be consistent and tenacious like that, it lasts a long time.
It does, because it's real. You are not pretending. It's not a script. You're not acting out a film. It's you. This is your life. And whether it's going to take you 6 years to make it or 10 years to make it, it's meant to be that journey for you, and you need to learn. That's why your journey is that long. It doesn't mean that because someone did it in 2 years, you're a failure because yours is 6 years. We all have a different story to tell, and we're all here uniquely in our own life. We have our own unique journey, so you cannot compare yourself. And I feel like with a lot of people I meet, it's a lot of comparing, and I wish I'd done this, or someone's done this, and how come it's so easy for them? But I know certain things, it's like, it's unfair, but life is not fair, so you just got to look at it like, well, okay, it didn't happen for me, I'm going to brush myself off and try again. Just keep trying, that door would open. You know, I didn't even imagine this. I remember moving to this area in 1993, and you couldn't even get a shop here. They would be like, oh, are you sure you got a viable business? I started my business in a business centre that didn't even have a shop front. It was literally like a derelict. You know, you walk in there, people are like, you're mad, you got a salon there. But from that first salon, I went in with 50 people. By 2 years, I had over 500 clients.
Wow. Through
just sheer hard work and determination. I was so determined. I was like, do you know what, even though it's a business centre, I can afford this. I need to grow. I haven't got anything. There's no point me being on Portobello with £25,000 a year rental, and I'm not making that money. Who do I think I am to even want to be there? So maybe it's a good thing that they said to me I couldn't have it, because I would have failed.
Yeah.
I had to go through the business centre, start small, learn. And by the time I was ready to come here, I had 500. I was coming with 50 to a place that was going to cost me so much, thousands a month. So it made sense that I had to go through that. But then that taught me business.
Yes.
You see, that taught me how to manage. That taught me how to economize. You know, like, what is priority? Do you need to buy magazines every week? Do you need to do advertising? You know, all of those things. So we all need to just, I feel like for me personally, it's all about taking your time, be consistent, be focused on what you're doing, but there's no rush. You know, as long as you're living, there's no rush, because what you're rushing for, you rush and fail. So take your time and get it right.
Okay, so we've moved outside to get some fresh air.
Yeah, and it's a hot day.
Yeah, and the salon is bustling at the moment. Someone's going to get their hair blow dried. So we've kind of shifted, if you've noticed the change in the air quality of the...
No, it's just my hair as well.
What we wanted to ask you, we had some of our readers, a lot of people seem to be transitioning right now, yeah? So what words of advice could you give to someone who is moving from relaxed hair? What's the best way to move from relaxed hair to natural?
To move from relaxed hair to natural, you can either do three things. You could either go for the big chop, which can be a bit scary for most people, like, oh my God, I have to cut all my hair off. But it's the most easiest, simplest way to do the transitioning process. The second method would be to use, we do something called rod sets or twist out. So if you're doing like rod sets, it's like the days of the curly perms, it will set your hair on rods. So your regrowth and the ends where the relaxer is, it becomes the same. So there's not much combing, because a lot of people realize that when they comb, because the roots is thicker and the ends are finer, it just pulls the ends out. So this will be more of like all of the hair being the same texture, so it kind of makes it easier and less breakage. And then the third thing that a lot of people tend to do as well, they tend to like either have a weave or braids to grow it out. But our number one thing we believe in is treatments. Our treatments are amazing. We use the oils to do all types of different treatments. We do some that we exfoliate your scalp with the oil, and then we do like steams, we do like reconstructors, and these help to build the hair up so the breakage is a lot less. Because whatever you do, the ends are like old hair, it would come off. So to make the transitioning easier, it's best you just have like regular trims as well, and just keep doing the treatments every 2 weeks. It does make a difference.
Yeah, because of that protein, you've got a lot of immune boosters in the Manketti oil.
It's got so much properties. It's unbelievable. It's strengthening, it's hydrating, it's moisturizing, and also it repairs. And using it over a long period of time. I mean, we've had clients that have come in and said, my hair's never been so amazing. I mean, I've been my own guinea pig and used it on my hair for 6 years. So I swear, people come up to me and say, you're wearing a wig? And I'm like, no, it's my hair. They just can't believe how full my hair is.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? And you can have it texturized and doesn't break? I said, no. Because my hair, seriously, I've been having it texturized for 6 years. And people are like, but you're always talking about breaking. I said, I don't have that problem. I swear by the Manketti oil, it's really, really good.
I've got to try it.
Yeah, if you're not, we've got to give you a set.
Yeah,
you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to be like in awe. Yeah. Yeah.
I do need to ask you, your master classes.
Yes.
Do they run twice a year?
No, we were doing them every 6 weeks, but I've just moved with a new PR company and we're hoping to launch it at Stylist Life. So we've kind of just gone a bit quiet for now because Stylist Life is this massive 3-day event. It's mainly like targeted at more beauty and like European hair and stuff, but they want us to come in because I've just started with them and we're changing the name to Curl Power. So it's about curls, whether you've got 2-inch curl, 20-inch curl, whether you're Greek, because there's clients that come in here that have got like, they have no black in them, well, so they say, but their hair is thicker than me and you, sis.
Wow.
It's so out of control even. And you're like, but hold on a minute, and they'll be like, oh my God, I just don't know what to do. And they've tried everything. You go to their house, they've got like 50 products.
Wow.
And they try the shampoo and they're like, wow, this is the best thing I've ever had. I mean, we are a little bit premium, so a bit of them get scared, like, oh my God, it's a bit too much. But you know what? They said it's been so good that they will save up and buy it.
Yeah.
Because the hair texture, I mean, that's why I'm really happy that we want it for thick hair, because it seems like Afro hair is right across cultures. Because you see them with the paler skin, but their hair is so natural and so thick and resistant that it's even thicker than some black people's hair. So it makes you wonder, like, this whole curly thing, it's like, it's a whole story.
It's another thing that brings us together. We've got so many things that separate us.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that what makes us whole.
That's why I said it's cross cultures, because it's deeper than just, oh, because someone's black, they've got this hair. It's more like, and they're so frustrated with it as well, because they don't know where to go. They go to the European salons, they don't know what to do. They've blow dried it to death, straightened it to death. They've lost all their moisture, natural oils out of it because they've just been using the wrong products. So when they come here and we sit them down, we do those consultations, and we're like, this is what you need to do. They're just like, wow, I feel like I've been lost for so long and now I'm found, you know? Because it's nice to know what to do. All people want is healthy hair on their heads.
Exactly.
That's all they want.
And what you're saying, but essentially, is it's just like your body temperature.
Yeah.
What you put in it.
It's what you get.
Right.
It's so true.
So, and I buy organic and halal meat and things like that. So you can't invest cheaply in yourself and expect great results.
No, not
you have to make that little bit of an investment.
That's right.
And just take care of yourself. Yeah. So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
well
you.
done, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem. And if you need any more, just put it all on email to us.
I will.
Yeah.
And who do you think I should interview next?
Ooh, who do I think you should interview? So you've interviewed Felicia.
You've interviewed Andre Walker.
Yeah.
I've interviewed you.
Yeah.
Anyone spring to mind?
Who else do I think is amazing, and she's always in London, or does it matter? Because you guys travel all over.
Yeah, we're global. We're global,
wow,
darling.
That's so good.
Yeah.
What about this girl that always works at Solange and she does these amazing braids?
Oh yes.
What's her name?
Oh,
I don't know.
She does the halo thing, doesn't she?
She's amazing. I love her.
I just posted an article on her the other day.
Yeah.
Let's pretend that I remembered the name.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, what is her name?
I'm just trying to think. It's not.
She's quite young.
Crow, something Crow. Yeah.
Is it Crow?
Yeah, something
Shani.
like that.
Shiny Crow. Yeah, we got there. That's it.
Yes, she's amazing.
Okay, so Shiny Crow's next.
Because she's very driven, and I could see her spirit. She's hungry, you know. And I love people that are just willing to go that extra mile. And she has that in her. I don't know of her, but when I see her work, I know she's pushing boundaries. Yeah. Because I just did a collection that is just, if you see this collection, you're gonna be like in awe. In fact, that's what I was doing when the driver came, because I'm in a competition. The pictures. Yeah. They're so powerful. I cried because the idea I had for the shoot was about life, and that day I did the shoot, it was my birthday. So on the day of my shoot, that's May 22nd. Yeah. So what happened was, I had this amazing idea about life, that we all have a voice, but we don't have a voice. Because even what we were talking earlier about the people in Grenville that have died, and you know, no one's there talking for them. And it's like, I initially had the idea of putting them in white t-shirts, and then one day I just had this vision that no, it needs to be, I need to kind of like tie them up. And then everyone's like, what do you mean tie them up? Is it S&M? I said, no, it's not no S&M. So I got some very fine like yarn. So I've made dresses, and like literally, if you see it, like their whole body is covered in this. The way I've done it, so you know, like you can tie like a choker. Yeah. So I've tied it all around them, and even on their hands. So there's a girl praying, there's like a hands are tied, and if you see the expressions in their face, it's exactly what I said. And then everything that actually I wanted to talk about in the shoot happened on the day.
Wow.
A guy outside on the road got killed. It was my birthday. One of the models got very badly, like, you know, beaten up and assaulted, but she still came.
Wow.
And it was just like so profound. It was just so powerful, because if you see the finished result of the pictures, you'd be like, Charlotte, where are you? People even saying to me, you're on another level. It's not even hair. It's like, you need to do like a gallery and just talk, you know, because it's beyond hair. What you're trying to tell people, the messages are too deep. Because it's like, sometimes I feel like God speaks through me, and I just need to put it out there. But it comes out in my work, because I'm all about telling the truth. You know, even if it's going to take, like I said, even if it's going to take you 20 years to make it, tell the truth, because the truth sets you free, and the truth is you. That's what you're going to be respected for. That's what you're known for. There's no point in me trying to copy someone, because that's not me. I can't be anybody but myself, and we all uniquely have a purpose here. And I think we tend to forget it as humans, because we're so busy looking at things on social media. Someone has maybe got 1 million followers. They might have 1 million followers, but they've got no substance. You've got someone with 10 followers and they're doing great, incredible things. And I feel like with the young people, a lot of them get sucked in by that. So they lose their way. We didn't have so much of the social media, so we had a more clearer head. But with them, they're easily distracted. So I always feel like when I meet the girls, I'm always saying to them, just do you. There's no rush. That's why I kept saying no rush. Just keep going. It will happen. If it takes you till you're 40, so what? Doesn't mean that your life's any worse, or, you know, this is your life, this is your story, and it's all about our own stories.
Yeah. And what you're echoing, it's so important to have integrity, authenticity, stay true
and
to yourself.
Be accountable as well for what you do. What are you? Are you this? Stick to that. Because I get girls that come in and they're like all over the place, and I'm like, you're not going to get anywhere like this. You want to be this, you want to be that, you're doing like 8 things. You're giving 20 minutes to each one. Focus on one, do it so well. Once you've got it, you could be anything. That's why I use the example of Victoria Beckham. You know, you need to have one thing, lay all the foundation. A house that is built, that is standing strong 100 years later, had very good foundation. Use your 20s, your 19, you know, your teen years to really build. 30, 40, sometimes people that I know that are really having a good time, they're all in their 40s. It takes that long. It takes
that long to get to know yourself.
Thank you, sis. It takes that long. And then everything is into place. So you'll fix yourself. So everything around you is, because it takes so long to fix yourself. It's not overnight. It takes so long to get it right, even with your kids. I have 2 kids. I had to make sure that I spend good enough time with them, with my partner. If I didn't, they wouldn't give me the support. Without that support, I couldn't do this.
And
this wouldn't be here.
Thrive as well, because you have to take care of every vein of your life.
It's so important. People say the words, but they don't know how to do it. They just say it. It's deeper than just the action of it. It's much more deeper than just the words, you know, because doing it every day, of course, you're human. You become weary, you become tired, you become stressed, like you said earlier. But how do you pick yourself up again? That's when I said about praying, being balanced. Don't beat yourself up all the time. Sometimes all you can give is 20, not 100. But tomorrow maybe you might be able to give 100. So make up for it tomorrow. Don't knock yourself down. And I feel like a lot of that happens as well in our community, because we all feel like, oh, it's really hard for us. We're never going to make it.
That self-talk is self-sabotage all the way.
It is.
And that vibration is just going to tune you into an experience that's going to prove it to be
That's
true.
Right.
Simple.
And there's so much out there. I mean, if you saw where we came from to where we lived, where I am now, it tells you with consistency, hard work and determined. You've got to be determined. You've got to be determined. People see me and they're like, oh, how do you do it? And I'm like, I just do it. the challenges come, I don't stay there and say, oh my God, my leg's broken, I'm gonna, no, just, you know, I'm not gonna limp forever. It's gonna heal. So you just have to pick yourself up all the time. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but don't let it hold you back. You know, yeah.
That was a great conversation, Jadusha. I love that. I mean, so many nuggets for up-and-coming stylists and business entrepreneurs. Just so much to take away. I think I'm going to have to listen to it again to get all the nuggets. But yeah, that was an awesome interview. We have on our YouTube a video that tells you a bit more about the Menketi oil as well. So you can check that out as well. So great interview. Can't wait to hear the next one. So what's been happening on the natural hair scene, Candice? Any events coming up?
The next event that's coming up is the New Orleans Hair Show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the 4th annual New Orleans Hair Expo. That's on the 1st of July and the 2nd of July. Tickets are online. It's an Eventbrite. Tickets purchase, I think it's between $22 and $60.
That must be happening around the same time the Essence Music Festival.
Yes. Oh, yes, it is. It seems like New Orleans is the hot and happening place to be these days. So you guys, if you're in that area, if you're someone that loves to go to hair shows, get there. Send us any little nuggets that you find, anything you want to share with us, send it to us. We'll be happy to repost it on our page. And for any of the sponsors, if you're looking to do any advertising, you can contact us at advertising@naturalhairweekly.com. We also have anyone willing to tell us what else is going on in your city, in your town. If you're doing it on your own, you can find us at info@naturalhairweekly.com. Any stories you have to share, hit us up on the editor at naturalhairweekly.com. Anything you're looking for to deal with anything naturally, just find us there. And don't forget to subscribe to our page so you do not miss out on any of the juicy interviews and other things we have going on in the natural hair community.
We're everywhere.
Speaking of everywhere, what's coming up next week? Make sure you subscribe to the Natural Hair Weekly YouTube channel because you don't want to miss any of our podcasts because we've got so many exclusives coming up, guys. Next week, we're going to be interviewing the United Kingdom, that is, entrepreneur, the wonderful Tammy from Jim and Henry 8 Products. Look out for that. And also we're going to be speaking with Michelle de Leon, who is doing World Afro Day in September 2017. She's talking about a natural hair world record. So if you want to know what that's all about, definitely log on with us next week. It's been an awesome pleasure having in your listening ears. Please share the link, tell your friends, tell your families. It's all about Natural Hair Weekly. It's all things natural. You got the addresses from Candice. This is Jadusha signing out.
Wish you were here.
Wish you were here. Bye, Zena. Bye, Candice. Thank you, everyone.
Bye everyone. Have a good week.
Naturally.